Hey there, and it is Friday, and we are here for another video here in the movie library. And today we're going to talk about some announcements, which should be kind of fun because there was announcements from Severin, there was announcements from Aero Academy, and there are announcements from On Macabre. Well, there's announcements from On Macabre as well that I'm actually very excited about, and I know my dad is going to be extremely excited about. And with that, I'm also going to talk a little bit about Paul Nashi and my very modest, very small, like, hey, Tennessee Pops there. Actually, was started to talk to you on Facebook yesterday, and I actually was falling asleep at the time. I actually went to bed early last night, so sorry about that. But I passed out and woke up like 5:30 this morning. Hey, horror, how's it going? Huge news? Okay, what's the huge news? Hey, Livins. If you haven't noticed, I'm actually wearing I got my new glasses today, which was kind of cool. So I'm waiting to hear horror huge news before we go any further, because that'll be a fun way to start off. And then we'll talk about the stuff that's being released, because there's some pretty epic stuff. That is awesome. 98 titles. Holy crap, man. But last night about a movie that is in the wrong genre. That's a good question, but I want more time to think about that, because that's actually something to put out, to actually ask here in the movie club as well, and see if anybody can think of any like suggestions, any ideas. It's kind of a fun one for everybody to do. I was asked yesterday by Tennessee Popstar. Hey Corey, welcome. That is awesome. 98 movies. That is incredible. Hopefully you got a good deal on them too. Well, you did. You buy one get one. So you paid less for those than I paid for my Arrow. That's for sure, which is always a good thing. It's the buy one get one. Pepsi today, guys, because I got a whole case of Pepsi up there and I haven't been drinking it. All right, so we have some announcements. Hey Juan, how's it going? I saw your region free thing, dude. Awesomeness is going to change the way you collect, especially right now. So hey Mug. So what we're doing right now basically is we're going to talk about the announcements that came out. I'm going to start with the Severin announcements first. In fancy honest, yeah, Pepsi. I'll put it my pinky finger when I drink it, right? And Severin made some pretty awesome announcements for August. Did you guys hear the Severin announcements yet? Because if not, that's the first one that we're going to actually talk about here. And it is pretty freaking cool. So I'm going to bring it up here. Where my other glasses were kind of were bifocalish. I know, man, it's so exciting. They could see, I could see closer. Like I could look down, I could see farther away, but I have to take them off. Buy 49, get 49 free. I like that. So Killer Crocodile is coming out from them. Killer Crocodile 2. But the most exciting for me, and the one that means a lot to me from my collecting in the past, from my VHS collecting days, is the movie The Wax Mask. Now, if you're unfamiliar with The Wax Mask, it's very much in the vein of like the horror of the Wax Museum, kind of the Vincent Price Wax Museum type of thing, with a bit more kind of gore in there. It was originally a film that was set up to be done by Lucio Fulci. Lucio Fulci was actually, oh really? Was actually really sick at the time. So Argento decided that he was going to help him do The Wax Mask. Mostly because he went to see Fulci, and when he went to see him, Fulci looked be pretty ill. Unfortunately, Lucio Fulci passed away. So the movie got passed on then to a guy that most people knew for special effects. When you think here in North America of special effects, of like the gore effects, you think of guys like Tom Savini and K&B. If you think in Italy, or for these special effects things, then there's one guy. It's kind of a go-to guy that you think of a lot. A guy that's worked with a lot of the greats, and that is Sergio Stavellati. And Sergio Stavellati, this would be his. I think this is his directing debut. Is The Wax Mask, and it's a really underrated one. One that I love, actually. I love The Wax Mask. I remember like reading about it, trying to find it when it was coming out, seeing like in horror magazines and stuff like that. Yeah, this is a really good title, man. Really good. I gotta, when, and today I'm wearing my, in honor of like the Italian title, I'm wearing my Twitch of the Death Nerve shirt, which I probably should have wore during my Bava video, come to think of it. But yeah, so I looked for it for ages. Finally, what I had to do was go to Video Search Miami, you know, the old, kind of the one, you know, that I used to go to when I couldn't find things in North America, and pay $25 to get a release of what Aero print titles, to get like the wax mask, and you know, there's no picture, just so you know, if anybody's ever been to Video Search Miami back in the days of VHS, Macabre Visions, the film, it's a great set. Like if you don't already have it, right? If you don't have the Bava films, like if you're like getting the Bava films over again, it's a fantastic set to get, right? But if you know, if you already got it, I mean, you already got the films. There's no need to double dip unless you want the book in that too. I'm not sure like what writing's in the book. Like if they come out and they said the book has writing by like Kim Newman and Kiera Janice and people like that, I'm probably going to want it. To be honest with you, and I got like a few of the titles that are in that set already, so I'm actually very intrigued by it. The only Aero that I got coming right now is The Prey and Hills Have Eyes 2. I'm waiting to see what the October titles are going to be. I'm very excited. Mondo Macabre announced 8 out of print titles. I did not see that. Was that announced recently, Jesse? Because that's something I can talk about today. That is, I'm going to Aero. Is that on Aero Video? Because on Aero Academy they announced, oh God, it was amazing. There were 2 great announcements on Aero Academy. One that I seriously want, and come on here, and that is the Man of a Thousand Faces, which I love. I love Man of a Thousand Faces. And The Bells of St. Mary's, which is, again, is a really good film. And who'd you say? I got to open that up here. I got to turn down my phone so I can actually open it up here and see. Because I know the place you're talking about. Aero, right? 9 titles for November. These are ones that were already out or that are out of print now? I would love that because I missed out on so many. Oh, here we go. So there is Chud, which I got. I got Chud anyway. Children of the Corn. I don't know if I need to upgrade that one actually. Dead End Drive-In. Wait, Dead End Drive-In's out of print? I didn't know Dead End Drive was out of print. I mean, like I saw it at my local, like Sunrise Records. I guess I'm going to pick it up next time I go to Sunrise then because, you know, they got the original print of it there. Slugs, I actually didn't know that was out of print. I got the house set, so I don't need that. Creepshow 2, only if they're reprinting the actual box set. And the stuff, I got stuff. But yeah, I got the Chud set. I didn't know that was out. That was limited until like last week when I was actually looking at some stuff. Had zero idea that Dead End Drive-In was out of print. I may have to pick that one up myself. Slugs is a really fun film by Juan Picar Simon, who you know, who does some fantastic films like Pieces and stuff like that. It's if you go to Dawn of the Discs on Facebook Horror Legend, it'll show like the 8 titles. There's 8 titles. I only say 8 titles, man. No, there's 9 titles. Is there 8 or 9? I'm missing one title, I think. There's just to list them out again for you guys. It's Chud, Children of the Corn, Dead End Drive-In, Slugs, The Stuff, which is Larry Cohen, which is a fantastic film, by the way, if you don't have it. Creepshow 2, House, and House 2, The Second Story. And I got the House one, so definitely don't need those again. I just picked up the collection. Chud is a great release. That is an awesome DVD one. Juan Picar Simon is one of those directors that the Vinegar Syndrome Alex announcements, I haven't seen them out yet. One thing I'm excited though, Jesse, and I will say this right now, is they just showed footage of, that Mondo Macabre is putting out one of the hardest to get Paul Naschy films ever, and that's The Beast and the Magic Sword. They're all coming back in November. And The Beast and the Magic Sword is a great like werewolf film done by Paul Naschy. A rare one. I mean, like the copies of that I think, yeah, I think it's an '80s one, like an early '80s. The copies of like Beast and the Magic Sword that I ever found were always like scratchy, really hard to see, really not good copies. Even like when you went through nefarious purposes to find it online, the best you could get was one of like the Greek prints, which still wasn't a really great print. So I'm very excited, and I know my dad is a huge Paul Naschy fan. He's going to be like extremely excited to know that Mondo Macabre is putting out Beast and the Magic Sword. If you like werewolf films, if you're a fan of Paul Naschy at all, then this is one that has to be on your to-get list. It is a great little release and a really fun little film. Curse of the Devil is still my favorite Naschy werewolf film, but Beast and the Magic Sword is definitely up there. It's one of my favorites. You know, Beast and the Magic Sword, Curse of the Devil, Werewolf vs. the Vampire Women. Those tend to like, you know, stick out when I'm thinking. Sorry, I'm just really thirsty today. I had to go pick up my glasses and I had to go get my, set up my gym membership because we got, Platinum Fitness near here. But yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, I really want Man of a Thousand Faces. That's coming out from Aero Academy. That's an awesome release. And I remember watching that movie as a kid. And when I got to meet Robert Englund, I not yet. I do try to watch every film that I buy. The thing is that usually when I buy in quantity. Like if a sale or something comes up, like I bought like 29 titles from the Vinegar Syndrome sale. Obviously, I haven't got through all of them as of yet. And like sometimes I'll put a movie back to watch like in a different time of the year. Like sometimes I'll buy horror films, horror titles that I know I want to watch, but I want to watch them for my Halloween like watching. So I'll put them back and I'll watch them later. And other times there'll be films that'll really catch my eye, and I'll just get into them and I'll like watch them and I'll rewatch them and I'll study them. So that's what happens to me. So that means my backlog of watch movies turns out to be pretty big. Not as big as somebody like Vinny, who's always buying, or like Steph, but still pretty big. Or Brian. Brian gets stuff all the time. Next sale coming up. I don't know actually. That's actually good. I thought that this month there should be a Scream Factory like Summer Fear sale coming up. Because don't they usually have Summer Fear sale by now? I haven't seen if it came by. Like did it pass me by? Because I didn't. I saw like Shout have like an anime sale. Because I know that the new Kamen Rider stuff came out recently. It's insane. I mean, I get times when I want to watch so much stuff, and then I'll just like I'll look at my pile and it gets so big that I'm like, okay, I'm playing Halo, or I'm gonna play Dead by Daylight. I just can't face it right now. Now the other times, like yesterday when I sat down and I watched like two of the I came on here to do a second video last night to watch two of those American Horror Projects, like movies in a row. When I went to bed, I woke up around 5:30 this morning, wanted to watch a movie, turned on Shudder because I wasn't ready to get out of bed, and I watched I think it's called Party Hard Die Young, which was actually a pretty good like slasher film, pretty standard like in like his plot and stuff like that. But is it really? See, nobody talks about the Summer of Fear anymore because it used to be really good and it got really bad. You like Malatesta too? Yes. Thanks, Mug. Always glad when somebody likes those films. I heard that in one of the reviews that I read on Dark August from the second set, they said that Dark August is the closest to Premonition from the first set. So that's actually got me kind of excited to watch Dark August. I want more of those sets. Tell you what, I do have a couple of those releases that are now out of print. Let me grab them from over there so you guys can see them. If anybody is looking to pick up anything, I got like Chud, and I got the stuff. I don't have the rest there. But let me just grab those two to give you an idea of like if you're looking to pick them up. 50% off Aero sale. Didn't they just start a 50% off Aero Academy sale as well? Jesse, just like yesterday or so? Upstairs. So I got these two that I can show you. So if anybody's interested in getting any of those that are coming out in November, I think because anything is going to be taken out is probably the booklets, but you know, you're never sure at the booklets here. So what we got is this is a release for the stuff. This is Larry Cohen. Fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, it's one of Larry Cohen's best. Michael Moriarty is fantastic in this film. Like when it comes to feature-wise, it's got some great features. It's a new 2K scan of the film on here. Can't get enough of the stuff. Making Larry Cohen's like classic creature feature, which is a 52-minute long documentary on stuff. Really, really good documentary, by the way. There's a, you know, they talked to Steve Nell and Kim Newman, Andrea Marcovici, you know, Larry Cohen, producer Paul Kurta. There's an introduction and trailer commentary by director and stuff fan Darren Bozeman, who did, of course, Saw 2 and 3. Original trailer, and originally when this came out, this had this here kind of neat little booklet with it. And it was written by John Harley. So the booklet for this one was written by John Harley. The reverse. You want to see the reverse artwork? I go back and forth. I think they're both okay. But so this is the reverse artwork for the stuff. Actually, I don't know. I kind of like this one a little bit better, I think. Though it looks almost obscene with the way it's done there. Because when you add the person in the, like, especially in the foreground, it looks like a completely different film. All right. Next up, they're also putting out, and this is a really great release. I do recommend this one. So when November comes, if you don't have this release, I definitely recommend picking up because it's a fantastic film. And this is Chud. And okay, guys, what does Chud stand for again? Come on, let's see who says it first. Chud has some great features on here. We got the original theatrical cut of the film on here, and I think there's two versions of this film on here. And we have the integral cut of the film as well, done in a new 2K transfer. There is a now the original theatrical cut was these are both out of print, but they're coming back in November, Mug. It was announced that they're coming back in November, so you'll have a chance to get them again. Good, right on, guys. There's an audio commentary with Douglas Cheek, writer Shepard Abbott, actors John Hurd, Daniel Stern, and Christopher Curry. A dirty look, an interview with production designer William Billowet, Dweller Designs, an interview with special makeup effects John Caglione Jr., notes from above ground, the New York locations of Chud, feature by Michael Gingold and filmmaker Ted. Behind the scenes features, extended shower sequence. But the Chud was different. Now, it does say on here that the theatrical cut of the stuff was originally limited for the limited edition only. So the new November release may not have the theatrical cut. It may just have the integral cut there. And this, of course, is the classic artwork for the stuff, for Chud, which is really, really good. I'm actually changed that over because I really like that. I like the classic artwork for that film. This was a Christmas present for my better half, and because she. Okay, sorry about that. I disconnected for a second. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but I disconnected for a second. I do apologize. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I've seen who did the write-up on this. The write-up on, I think it's Michael Gingold. Yeah, it is Michael Gingold from Fangoria that does the write-up on the Chud one. I really love this here booklet. I love the artwork on this booklet. It's just phenomenal. So just make sure when you're checking it out, if you're really looking for the theatrical cut, if that's something that you want to find, it does say that the theatrical cut was limited to the limited edition release, so there may be different. Well, the thing is that I guess some people didn't miss out on some of those there initially. I missed out on Slugs, which I may pick up because I'm a huge Juan Picard Simone fan. He did Piece. I'm pretty sure he did Pod People too, didn't he? Because Pieces and Pod People have the same actors, have the same lead actors in them. You know, it stinks. Both those films had the same leads. Stinks. Both those films had the same leads. Got Edward Purdue in well, not in Pod People, but in like yeah, of course, in Pieces. Not to say Chud, but Chud is an was an excellent film. I got here because I did want to talk about Nashi bits, so I brought over my very small Nashi collection. And I got here because I did want to talk about Nashi bits, so I brought over my very small Nashi collection. And when I say very small, I mean extremely small. Initially, I was going to like take a do like a picture. Hey Kathy, how's it going? Happy Friday. I was going to take a picture of like my entire Nashi thing and put on like on the snapshot. But I've been getting hit a lot recently with the demonetization, so that's been affecting my channel. I'm not gonna lie. Not because one, I don't make any money from this anyway. Well, not to the point that I'd ever be able to go quit like working or anything like that. But it's nice if at a random month I get $100 somewhere, but I've been hit really hard with the demonetization recently. On just even my video I did last night, like my 30-minute one, like the American Horror Project. I get hit by that one, and it was only till I reached over like actually I only got like over 100 something views, and then they monetized it again. So. Anyway, I have 3 Nashi releases here. That's all I got, like in Nashi-wise, I think. I'm trying to think if I got anything else on DVD from Nashi, but as far as like as Blu-ray goes, of course there is, because I'm very excited about the Beast and the Magic Sword. Again, guys, if you're a werewolf fan, if you're a Nashi fan, you got to grab that Mondo Macabre release. It's going to be a fantastic release, and I can't believe they showed it. Dude. Exactly. I actually trying to go back to school Horror Legend, and I've actually been like doing some. I've been being very proactive about that, as well as trying to save up to get my TESOL certification. Teach English as a second language. So because basically I'm here right now, and there's a lot of jobs for that around this area. Plus I got a house in Morocco, so once I go to Morocco, that'll be something I can do there. The trail, it's fun, see? And the neat thing about that, Kathy, is if you've never seen it before, it's never looked like that. Like any time I've ever seen that, Kathy, it's looked like scratchy and like really hard to see. And like if you can remember like the really bad VHS, if you're old enough to remember like the crappy VHS stuff, that's usually what you saw when you got Beast and the Magic Sword. Like the best print was a Greek print, and that wasn't even a great one. So this is Inquisition. I actually like this one. I thought it was a really good Paul Nashi film. This is not a werewolf one. This is one of his different ones, one more of the satanic films. Great stuff on this one, by the way. There is newly created English subtitles on here, English and Spanish audio. We got like introduction by Paul Nashi, interview with star Daniela Giordano, audio commentary from the Nashi cast, Blood and Sand, a documentary on Spanish horror, which is really good. This actually is a really fun release. Did somebody say they were in It, as in like the movie? Or IT. IT is what I'm being trained for, by the way. So hopefully I can find work in IT. Because when you said that first, I was like, you're in the movie It? but then I thought, oh wait, I'm going into IT. I'm trained. I did journalism, and I stupidly did a little bit of art, but I'm trained in business, and kind of like human relations, social media is my specialty. But I want to go back to school for IT and systems and security. So, and plus I want to get my English second language. And to think, when I initially went to St. John's to go to school, I was going to be doing massage, because good with my hands. Next up is one from Vinegar Syndrome. You never heard that label on here, right? And that is Count Dracula's Great Love. This is probably the first Nashi Blu-ray that I bought. This is a really good release. This is the only time Nashi actually plays Count Dracula. There is another movie where he's this character that dresses up as different horror people, but you know, as like he's a movie actor dressed up as different horror people. But this is one where he actually plays Count Dracula, and it's the only one that actually plays Count Dracula in. And he does a really good job. It's more of a romantic when it comes to the Dracula style, but still, don't get me wrong, still, you know, the vicious Nashi character. Elvira, yeah, I got this one, and the Elvira is like you know, the ones that Shout Factory put out. I think it was Shout and Rhino put them out anyway. Like they put out the. What was neat is if you bought the Elvira edition of this film on DVD originally, it was uncut. Like if you bought the like any other edition anywhere else, it was cut to pieces. But if you bought the Elvira edition for some reason, it was the uncut version. There's some great features on this. There is a commentary here with director Javier Aguirre and lead actor Paul Nashi. New interview with actress Myrta Miller. Both English dub and original Spanish language dub. 8-page booklet on here. And, you know, one of the rare times. Hey, Cool Blue, welcome back, dude. There's only one Drac, Christopher Lee. My dad would think the same thing, actually, Cool Blue. We actually get like a cool little booklet here as well. And last, but definitely not least, this is probably the best thing I got Nashi-wise. And this is the Paul Nashi Collection Volume 2. I don't have the first volume. From Scream Factory. I think that they did an exemplary job on this release. This has some great films on here. We get like Hunchback of the Morgue, which actually is a really good Nashi film. Dragonfly for Each Corpse was a giallo that he did. Oh man, she is sexy as heck. The Devil's Possessed. Exorcism, which is a real cool release. And of course The Werewolf and the Yeti, which is the lone werewolf one on this release. But still, it's a really good one. So some great stuff on there. And it just, you know, to let you guys know, feature-wise, there's like audio commentaries on 3 of the films, on Exorcism, Hunchback of the Morgue, and Dragonfly for Each Corpse. There is an alternate code version of Exorcism, and there's theatrical trailers for almost all of these except for a Dragonfly for Each Corpse and The Werewolf and the Yeti. The Werewolf and the Yeti only actually gets a still gallery, which is a real shame because Werewolf and the Yeti is the release that I wanted the most information on this disc here, on this out of the discs on the set. And it does come with a neat little booklet as well, so I guess you can read that to find out some of the information. I got to make sure there's no nudity on this. Okay, we're good. That there as well. So that's the only Paul Nashi movies that I got in my collection. Needless to say, I'm extremely excited about Beast and the Magic Sword. But I think out of everything today that's been announced, Wax Mask is definitely. Hey, welcome back, Tennessee Popstar. Wax Mask is definitely the biggest film that I'm looking forward to. It should be a really fun release. I'm expecting some decent. I didn't check to see if the features were announced yet for those films, but hopefully there'll be some decent features from Severin coming with the Wax Mask. I do want the Killer Crocodile ones as well. Those look to be really fun. Crocodile, Killer Alligator. One of those two things. I can't remember right now. But I'm super stoked about both of these. There's been great announcements today. You pre-ordered Wax Mask already? Wow. So let's see what they say. Okay, so Killer Croc has interview with makeup effects artist Gianetta Derossi, interview with actor Pedro Guarnado. I can see what's the word? I guess nearsighted. I can't see far away, but like I can't use my glasses when I read. Cinematographer, interview with cinematographer Federico Del Zappo, and number 2 we get like career interview with FX master Gianetto De Rossi. On the wax mask, you're going to get an audio commentary with director, special effects artist Sergio Stevaletti and Michelangelo Stevaletti. Bjorn Fulci interview with producer Dario Argento. Oh man, I really want this. Director Sergio Stevaletti, producer, production designer, actress, filmmaker. Oh, Claudio Fragaso's interviewed on here. The Chamber of Horrors interviews, Living Dolls interviews, Mastery of the Wax Masks, the Waxwork Symphonies, the grand opening. It's got a soundtrack. I need this. It's got a soundtrack. So this is like one of the covers. This is the most well-known cover for Wax Mask. That's what most people will remember if they've ever seen the film. There's some kind of unique little cover there that I've never seen before. It almost looks like a Terminator-esque cover. And that's Killer Crocodile, which you can kind of see, and Killer Crocodile 2. They haven't, I don't think they've announced the bundle for this one yet, for the August release. I got to suck up my better half for sure, because these are really good. That's that Wax Mask set. Man. Anybody else excited about the Wax Mask? I know Kathy's already pre-ordered it, so she's definitely excited about it. Because it's an incredible film. If you haven't seen the film before, it's extremely well done. And Sergio Stevaletti is one of the premier like FX artists in Italy. If you as anybody's picked up, I don't have it myself yet. I'm hoping that some kind person one of these days will actually, out of the goodness of their heart, send me a copy of because it's hard to get around here, of Scorpion's opera. You know, that 3-disc really cool one. Then the work done in opera and a lot of the work done in Stendhal syndrome, stuff like that, was Stevaletti work. So when you're seeing that sequence, for instance, when they're when it's basically being shot through the, you know, the shot through the peephole type thing, or in Stendhal syndrome when he shoots the girl through the head, and Asia Argento looks, and she looks through the hole in the girl's head. That's Stevaletti's work. You should not see PMAC Vampires is actually considered, it's a classic when it comes, like some of his other stuff, like not so much, but Vampires is one of the things that, one of the Larraz films that you can actually consider like a genuine classic, kind of in the Jean Rollin type of way. So you started good. Whirlpool is a little bit more in the depressing side. It's a good film. I definitely watched it in the right mood for sure. There's some great like features on there as well. But Whirlpool was it wasn't a hard watch, but it was a different watch. You got to be in the right mood for it, because some of his films are kind of dark. Coffin Joe set. Didn't Synapse put out like some Coffin Joe DVD? Was it Synapse put out some Coffin Joe DVDs or something like that, or DVD set a while back? Was it the DVD or Blu-ray set? Because that's the guy, you know, A Minute to Take Your Soul and all those. I remember in the UK, I think they did like a Coffin like box set of them. But here in North America, I think Severin or Synapse did like an old DVD edition of some of his films. But I'm not sure if any. Do they still have the rights though? Like that could be the reason we haven't seen anything else come from them. I kind of expect if we ever get a Coffin Joe set to be done, that's gonna be a Scream Factory thing. It kind of reeks of Scream Factory. No, you're like. It all depends on the type that you're into. Yesterday, Kathy, I sat down and I said, okay, I'm going to finish out the first American Horror Project box set. You know, the only one that I'd seen before of it was The Witch Who Came from the Sea. I thought I'd seen Premonition, but I hadn't. But I sat down and I watched Premonition and I watched The Witch Who Came from the Sea, and I was bowled away. I was like really excited. I had to come on here and do a second video. I was that excited about the box set. So it's really good, especially if you've had like miss after miss of film, to find something that really hits you. And now I'm starting to find some stuff that's really hitting me, and I think it really depends. Like sometimes for me, it's not that the movie is particularly bad. It's just that I'm not in the right mood to watch that movie. PBS, you mean like public broadcasting, like channel? I would, yeah. RoboWars, Robo. I've never. I don't think I've ever seen Vi. So I couldn't like really like. I think that's on Shutter right now. People were really excited about that one actually. Nightmares of the Class of 1984. Excellent choices. You cannot go wrong with Class of 1984 across the board. That is a fantastic film. I don't remember Levins. If I've seen it, I don't remember it. So, and I don't think I've seen it. So I can't say whether it's good or bad. I don't know. I think Steph was pretty excited about it when Cheered was coming out. But that's 1999. That was fun too, though. PMAC right now, I can't buy anything because I bought so much in the last month or so. My better half has cut me off for a bit. Like September, I'm going to be grabbing. I wanted to get some from the 101 film sale. That's the only like sale recently that's tempted me. Like I've already done my Aero stuff and all that, but like as far as like Summer of Fear, Scream, no. But the 101 film sale, that's been tempting because they got a lot of good stuff on 101 films. So if you haven't checked out PMAC, you haven't checked out the 101 films sale, they're like £6 each, man. Definitely check them out. Now the Black Label releases, the ones that Jesse's talking about there, that they are, they're of course like, 2 for 25 or £15 each. It's true, the sales won't leave you alone. 101 does ship internationally, Vinny. I do know that. Welcome, by the way. My favorite Uber driver, Vinny, is here. Yeah, 101 Films ships internationally, I know, and they ship fairly fast because I think I got mine pretty quickly. They got some great releases. Were you here, Vinny, when I did the 101 Films? Like when I showed off the 101 Film stuff? What will be some 101 Films recommendations? Tell you what, I'm going to bring it up here because I will gladly talk 101 Films like day or night because they just do some amazing stuff. Let's hit their sale site because they got like a sale section right now, and we're talking like £6. So you can't normally get anything for £6 man. Like anything like decent, but we're talking some really good stuff. So I'll grab my 101 films and give a couple of them just to give you an idea of what they look like there, just in case somebody here doesn't have any of the releases. So you're looking at getting stuff like Nightmares, which is like a really cool little film. If you got the Scream Factory one, I guess, this is a better edition, but the Scream Factory one is cool as well. If you already got it, you probably don't want to double over with it. Livens recommends the Black Label case. They are amazing, the Black Labels are. So on the regular one, we got like Nightmares, great release. FX, The Complete Illusion. Say, for instance, you didn't want to spend like, I don't know, $25 per Blu-ray to go get each of the FX films. You can get both of them on Blu-ray for £6. Existence actually is. It's on the Black Label. So the Black Label, see, 101 Films is broken up into 3 like major labels. We got the Black Label, which is like was mentioned there. That's their criterion of films. You have these nice cases. They come with like a bunch of features, like exclusive documentaries, sometimes like posters, that type of stuff on there, booklets, the whole works. There's a few of those. One of them sold out. Earthquake is the only one that sold out so far. But there's stuff like Existence, The Grifters. The most recent announcement was Rabid, which is one I really want. It's got a Canucksploitation exclusive documentary on there. There's a bunch of stuff. Then they got their red labels. The red labels is kind of the middle of the road, got like some nice special features. Usually got a poster with it or a booklet, some unique like aspect that's specific for that. And then they got the more kind of just the regular releases, which is the cult classic releases. But they have like a lot of really, really great stuff in the classic releases. So I only got 6 of them. I'll just grab them. And I'll just give you an idea of like exactly what I mean. I never mind. Always something new to talk about when it comes to this company. Hey, Cinema Dave. So, here's an example. This is a red label release from 101 Films. Okay, this is Brian Bosworth, Stone Cold, Lance Henriksen, fantastic film. So this one here, for instance, has what? Good idea. I wish I had my computer down here, PMAC. I should have brought it down. Has this incredible, and I think this is incredible myself, poster for Stone Cold. And I love the fact that it's a poster with the actual movie credits, which makes it look more like one of those posters you see like in a movie lobby, kind of like one of those you see like put on one of the stands type of thing. And I really, really dig that. So you get that in like in a red label release. A red label release, of course, will always have like an alternate artwork as well. Of course, that's Brian Bosworth on the bike. I'm a big fan of this film, actually. Some people would call this a guilty pleasure, but I just like this film. Now, this here is another example of a red label release. If you don't have this one, Vinny, for instance, this one I strongly recommend. And So Women on the Moon. It's a really fun little film. It's like a skit comedy. There's some really good skits in here as well, but with a great cast. And what's cool about this one is this is a Blu-ray DVD double pack. It's got like cut scenes from Amazon Women on the Moon. I don't mean things like when they had like a skit and the skit parts were cut out of it. Actual skits never made it into the film that are on here. One in particular, actually. It even has a booklet right here. Now the Lou Ferrigno 3-pack that you're looking at right here, we're big fans of this cheesy stuff, PMAC, by the way. Got Hercules 2, and it's got Sinbad on here as well. What's really good about it, because in case you're wondering, is that it's not all on one Blu-ray or anything like that. Hercules gets a Blu-ray. Adventures of Hercules 2 gets a Blu-ray, and of course Sinbad gets his own Blu-ray there as well. So each of them have their own Blu-ray. And just a regular cult classic one, for instance, there's Double Dragon, Firewalker, I'm a fan, and of course Split Second, which everybody should own. Everybody should own Split Second. PMAC, the way I see like Double Dragon, the MVD release is, it's the release to get. This one here, when their cult classic collection, these here are their are their base ones, where basically you're not going to get a lot of features. Sometimes not any features at all in this. So if you don't have like a Double Dragon and you like the film, then get the MVD Rewind one is the one to get. It's got like hour and a half long documentary. It's got like cartoons and all that type of stuff. If say you just want the movie Double Dragon, you don't care about the features, you don't care about the extras, cartoons, or anything like that, and or say you haven't seen it and you want to wonder if you want to invest in the more expensive Double Dragon, it's it doesn't hurt to go grab go grab this release and see if it's something that you want to like kind of put more money into before you actually go and grab the bigger release. So that's the way that it works with 101 Films, and their releases are just incredibly well done. Into the Night. Jeff Goldblum and Michelle Pfeiffer's here, Exterminator 2. Their cover for Black Christmas, you guys know Black Christmas is my favorite film. I would say Nightmares is a better release than Scream Factory. I would go with that one over Scream Factory. I got the Scream Factory edition of Nightmares. If I was, sometime I'm going to buy their edition of it. I just like it better. Aesthetically, I find it looks better as well. Their Black Christmas cover right here is utterly gorgeous. And it's just simplistic, and I like that. So I own the Seasons Grievings edition of Black Christmas. I will buy the Scream Factory edition of Black Christmas down the road. But this has the Legacy documentary. If I don't have if the Legacy, because there's only one documentary I'm missing on Black Christmas. If that's on here, then I might not need the Scream Factory one. So that's what I'm trying to figure out now. Actually, I got to look into that. As far as their Nightmares goes, because You mentioned that one. That's one that they got like extras on there. Like for instance, their edition of Nightmares, uh, for instance, is comes with a booklet, which is something you're not getting with the Scream Factor edition. The commentary by Mondo Digital's Nathaniel Thompson. I don't know if that's on the. I got the Blu-ray over there somewhere. Let me just check. I'm kind of curious because I need to know if this is one I need to double dip on. Is fun. I mean, it's a cheesy like snake movie, but you gotta like that stuff. Like if you're not into it, all right, let's give it a comparison. I don't know if I'm going live tonight. Uh, I do find that if I go live twice in one day, it really like hits in me in the viewership. And how many S's would I give? That's actually really good. So let's check out the anthology here. So, nope, there's a completely different audio commentary on Nightmare on the Scream Factory edition. I know that Nathaniel Thompson's audio commentary is usually pretty good. And there's an interview with the Christopher Crowe, producer and writer of 3 of the 4 segments, that is not included on here. Yeah, I would definitely go with the 101 Films edition of Nightmares in my not so humble opinion. Now let's see about this because I want to know if they got if the same features, if there's any features in this at all. Oh wait, it's a red label, is it? So there's an interview with Dirk Benedict, of course, interview with Heather Menez, and a poster. So comes with the poster. And this one here comes with the interviews. So the interviews are going to be the same. The big selling point, I guess, for this one, for the 101 Films edition, is one, it's cheaper, and two, you get a poster with it. So that's, there's a plus right there. That's obviously going to be a plus if you, especially if you're like me and you like the posters, the booklets, stuff like that. Split second. So Eureka's announced a sale. Maybe I do a Eureka video this week, and more like that's a good idea. I can go through my Eureka stuff. I don't have very much. Thai Soldiers is a really good film, like kind of like a young teen, like a teen action film. If you've ever seen it, their classic releases are really good as well. So they put it like Tarantula, and they put it like it looks really friggin' good. They're just the addition of that. I saw somebody like unboxing some of the stuff, and it was like a dual format Blu-ray DVD. Me too, man. Me too. They got a Van Damme collection here, so like if you don't like have the bones, go buy like the MVD rewinds that can get pretty expensive on some. You can pick up like this set here. It's got Death Warrant on it, which is actually a really cool one. Black Eagle, not really a Van Damme movie. Actually, that's a Sho Kazuji movie that just happens to have Van Damme in it. But okay, we'll let it pass. And AWOL, which I guess was called Lionheart here in North America. Again, there's some great stuff in here. Like Missing in Action is here. The Lou Ferrigno set, definitely it's that's £6 for like 3 films, 3 Blu-rays. That's a really good price, and they're quality, well done stuff. They got the 1977 edition of Island of Dr. Moreau there. Kickboxer Steelbook. Is there a Kickboxer Steelbook for real, dude? Lost Worlds looks awesome. I wish I could get some of this stuff. I would definitely like to have their edition of I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. Nemesis, like, say, I got the MVD like Nemesis films, but I mean, Nemesis, I'm not gonna lie to you, Nemesis isn't exactly the most quality sci-fi. The first one's really good, the other ones are okay. So like, but £10 for all 4 of the Nemesis like releases, man, that's pretty cool. That's pretty awesome. I wish they still had the Ghoulie Steelbooks that they used to have. They had a really cool Ghoulie Steelbook. And the look of their Ghoulies like covers, like puts ours in North America to shame, because like this is the artwork that they do for the Ghoulies. Way better than what we got. I gotta like dip my toe into through these Black Label releases as well, because they're so good, and I love to have some Black Labels in my collection. So if anybody here wants to like start sending me some Black Label release, or wants to go into the 1-1 film sale and they're getting some stuff for themselves, and they want to send something to the poor, unfortunate me, feel free to do so. I will appreciate that. Venom's a great release. Murdersville. I got the Blue Underground edition. That is so good with Oliver Reed. That's a sexy steelbook. I really like that one. Uh, Ironheart, Bolo Young. I'd like to have that one as well. A Monkey Bone. I think Monkey Bone's underrated. I think Monkey Bone's going to get more of a cult following as the years go by. It's a fun little film. I know people hate it, but I do. I did kind of like Monkey Bone back in the day when it came out. Uh, ooh, Dreamscapes. Dreamscapes is so cool. That is 101 Films. I put out the Ghoulies Steelbook. It was actually on sale, Cool Blue, during the last sale that they had. The one that I got those films I just showed there from. The Steelbook that's on here is gang related. And actually, it's a pretty cool looking steelbook. If you're, oh yeah, James Belushi, Tupac Shakur. I remember that film. Dude, Amazon Women on the Moon is a must. Anybody that does not have this movie, you should have this movie. If you like comedy, if you like, Sybil Danning and just like kind of fun stuff. There's a great release here. Great like skit here, like Son of the Invisible Man with Ed Begley Jr., which is hilarious. Just some really good stuff. This is one everybody should have. Hands down. Like, you don't have Amazon Women on the Moon. Vinny, if you're still here, if you don't have Amazon Women on the Moon, get Amazon Women on the Moon. It is a great release. So the steelbook comes with a poster as well, by the way. And again, like, just some stuff that you don't see coming out. Or I haven't seen them, like Crazy Six is here. Ice-T. If you're a fan of the Jeepers Creepers stuff, then there's, all three of them for £8. Bam, you're done. And if you can buy it without giving money to the director, good for you. But definitely decent stuff on the 101 film sales. Not, and the prices for that is just incredible. Now, you guys ask me about the Black Label stuff, and I get asked about it all the time. It's their highest quality releases that they put out. Like, all the releases are good quality, but this is with the most features, the most bells and whistles. Collectors want Black Labels in their collection. You want to have at least 1 or 2 Black Labels in your collection. I'm going to mention like everyone that they got here. That way, if you're going in for the first time, I think the older movies, of course, older movies are always going to be the good ones, Tone. And not only that, like for people that do 4K, that buy 4K stuff, like older movies will always look better on 4K. Will always be better. Usually, if the transfer is well done, will always be better than a new release will be. Because with a new release, you're looking at like digital film, like that most one's being done with. So the Blu-ray is going to look comparable to what the 4K does. But if you're looking like an older movie for 4K release, then you're looking at like sometimes 35 or 70 millimeter film, where there's a lot more artifacts and film to work with to actually make it better. Yeah, they really stood up the game with the Black Label. Warlocks is 110% right. You got Existence, which is a cool limited edition. These are all limited edition, by the way, these Black Labels. Howard the Duck, if you like that one, that's a limited edition. Get a good limited edition of that one. Class of 1984. It's a fantastic film that everybody should own. It's a cool revenge film. Love this movie. The Grifters is one that's personal to me. Trespass. Unfortunately, Roller Coaster is sold out, but there is like a non-limited edition release of Roller Coaster that came out without the booklet and the cover. Black Book, The Cooler, Rabbit and Skinner are the 2 latest ones that are being released. So and Rabbit, Skinner is going to have the same features really as the as the Severin one that came out, but it's going to have like a booklet, and it's going to have like the kind of hardbox slipcover. I think it's a hardbox type slipcover, and this really cool case. Here's someone else, but the Rabbit one has this like feature length Canucksploitation documentary, and I think that's a must. That's definitely a must. Let me open up one of them, just to give you an idea, like some like feature wise. How exactly, they're a company that started out putting in a lot, but the way that Mill Creek would like kind of when Mill Creek got better, for instance, and you were getting like decent releases from Mill Creek, but they'd be like feature free basically, but they're putting in movies that you wanted to be put out by other companies so bad, but nobody was looking at them. 101 Films did that. They did their cult classics collection. That basically was like them putting out like films that everybody wanted out. Rage of Honor and stuff that Sho Kozuchi did before Aero even looked at it. 101 Films were putting it out, and decent releases of it too, with decent transfers, just pretty feature free. Then they started the red label releases, and they started to put like features into some of the regular releases as well, like features or posters. They kind of upped their game. Then they upped it even further when they did their black label releases. These became their premium releases, and I don't think I've heard anybody say anything really bad about most of the black label releases. Aero's Rabbit. I got Aero's Rabbit, but it's not enough for me because I'm from Canada, and Canucksploitation is something that's near and dear to my heart, to the point where I almost wrote a book on Canucksploitation, like cinema and films. I actually was in the beginning, like portions, writing a book on Canucksploitation. Then another one came out actually, and I said, well, there's one out there now. Maybe I'll look at it down the road if I can like put my own spin on it. But the Rabbit release that's coming out, it has a I'm not going to get this out. It has a documentary on Canucksploitation, and that for me is worth its weight in gold. So you get like, they're usually limited to 3,000 copies each. You get a slipcase. There's going to be like a booklet. There's going to be like a ton of features. Existence, for instance, will have like interview with Eccleston, a commentary with Kim Newman and Ryan Lambie, commentary with Mondo Digital's Nathaniel Thompson. They work with him a lot. There's a limited edition booklet, includes Enemy of Reality, David Cronenberg's Existence by Alex Morris, and a Fabrics and Flesh, an interview with Denise Cronenberg by Philip Escott. And those are like the brand new extras. Then there'll be the older extras that'll carry over from other releases, like the audio commentary by David Cronenberg, making of documentary, promo featurette, special effects featurette, backstage interviews with the cast at the time, kind of like an EPK type kit thing on there as well. So a ton of like different features. But if I can like try and sell you on Rabbit, I'm going to totally do it, because I was like, I got a Rabbit, I got the Aero edition of Rabbit. It is the best. Like I got the sexy like steelbook case of Rabbit. So when they said, well, I don't need it for a booklet, and I don't need it for like but then they said The Quiet Revolution, State Society, and the Canadian Horror Film, Part 1, Gimme Shelter, Cinepex, and the Birth of Canadian Horror Film, a brand new feature-length documentary exploring the social context behind Canadian horror cinema from filmmaker and author Xavier Mendick. There is a brand new audio commentary on this film here by the Soska sisters, who I really like their stuff, by the way, and a limited edition booklet. I didn't realize there was commentary about Soska sisters on it, but yeah, that's a big thing. Obviously, they remade Rabbit recently, kind of like a reimagining of the film, a very different Rabbit with Gloria Vandervoort from, of course, I guess she did that Werewolf show, but I know her, from Smallville, where she played Supergirl. But I think it was called Bitten. I think the Werewolf show she had was called Bitten. But it like ran for like 3 seasons. I haven't seen one episode, but I'm gonna one of these days. So I'll go to Walmart when there's a Black Friday and I'll pick it up. Yeah, they directed the remake. They actually got knocked off Twitter because they said that, oh, have a great evening there, Kathy, and if I don't see you over the weekend, enjoy your weekend. Thank you so much for coming in. I got into like, oh God, an unnecessary argument on Facebook this morning. I'm kind of embarrassed about it, actually, but I'll mention it here because I out myself raw when it comes to these type of things when I say stupid stuff and stuff. So I won't say who, but a fellow YouTuber uh, was on Facebook, and he said like he said like is are the Soska sisters the the next Uwe Boll, and I took offense to that because the Soska sisters really love, hey Sasha, like horror, and they bleed it, like literally, but and Uwe Boll is known for like wanting to punch his critics. It's completely different. So I think highly of the Soska sisters. So I like uh, so I basically I was said I said so does that make you the Uwe Boll of YouTube? Which was kind of a low blow, but I wanted to turn the comment around. And then I said, this is a moronic comment type thing. And then I felt, and then he said, that moronic part, like that hurt. Because I said, because even if you don't agree with me, I said, don't say I'm moronic. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have said that. Like saying, like the moronic portion of it, that's moronic of me. So I apologize for that. But I still think that you're wrong. But the Soska sisters, I think they're fantastic. I'm actually going to have to go in less than 15 minutes, but just to let you know. So yeah, that came up on Facebook today. So hopefully he doesn't like think too horribly of me afterwards. But I will stand by the fact that American Mary is a great film, and I wasn't as big on See No Evil 2. It's a fun little film. It's okay, but I did like American Mary, and I'm really looking forward to the my plans. You want me to be honest with you? This is Friday, and you think no movies, Xbox. That's my plan. That's my plan. I know, but it's this. There's one thing, and like in kind of my last minute thoughts. Well, what? Blumhouse Halloween John Carpenter Nick Castle announcement coming this weekend. Ooh, interesting. You know what it's not going to be? 2 movies in a month. That's what's not going to be. I'm expecting something good. Uh, but there's there's an opinion, and then there's insulting, and I think it was a little insulting in my not so humble opinion, because I will never say that my opinion is humble. I'm not that deluded of a person. Uh, those are the hills I die on, man. Soska Sisters, Scream season 3. Those are the battles I fight. Uh, I got my kids actually watching that now. I watched Stranger Things season 3. It's way better than part 2. Well, since he's not around anymore. Talk to you later, Mike. Have a great one, and hopefully I'll see you here if I make a video of the weekend. Because yeah, maybe I got to make a Eureka video because Warlock mentioned the Eureka sale. So maybe we can talk about that. And yeah, there's so many sales. It's like one right after the other. It's insane. It's great for my channel. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's great for my channel because it gives me a wealth of stuff to make videos about. Because there's always a new sale. There's always something coming up. So for me, like especially when I don't have a lot like coming in, like kind of movie-wise and box or stuff like that, it's always good that there's these sales coming up and different stuff that I can talk about. And that's always a plus. Like for me, especially when things are kind of low. She was, oh yes, man. And Foxy Brown, if you got coffee, Sasha, if you don't have coffee, get coffee as well. She looks amazing in Foxy Brown, but I think she looks even better in coffee. She's gorgeous, and Pam Grier, gorgeous anyway. Is it a sign? What, the sales? I don't think so. I mean, I think right now, what's happening is you're starting to get like companies that are starting to find like these niches that work, because there's lots of times when things aren't on sale. There's a different way to to go about it. Dude, I forget things on a regular basis when it comes to that stuff. So do not take it personally, but I would have forgotten that. I forget this stuff, man. But yeah, no, I think that the sales aren't basically movies not selling as well. I think it's more of the other side of the coin, is that people are they're staking their claims. There's so many like companies, boutique labels out there right now doing this stuff. I mean, back in the day, we had like Anchor Bay, and there was like Anchor Bay was the one, right? And then you get other stuff like you see some Synapse or stuff. But now you're getting like Aero and Scream Factory, and you got Criterion 101 Films of their game, Mondo Macabre, uh, and Shameless, Grindhouse, MVD Rewind, Vestron Video. There's a lot, and there's a lot of space. There's only so much real estate out there for these companies, and they really Criterion did start at them. Way back before DVD, they started in Laserdisc. They started when you got commentaries and stuff coming up in Laserdisc. Criterion quickly became that one that kind of really got it going. I do think that companies like Arrow have perfected it in the way they've been able to go into different genres. As far as like the modern day, like the way that the tropes for selling movies are going right now, I think Vinegar Syndrome is the smartest one, in that they do the monthly packages, they do the halfway to Black Friday and Black Friday sales, and those things they started out just it's just as a regular sale, and they've become like an event. Like the Criterion Barnes Noble 50% off, so that was the event sale. That was the sale on YouTube, like movie collectors. That's the sale everybody talked about, and that was the real only sale people talked about. Like people would mention the Summer of Fear sale every once in a while, or if a sale came up. But Vinegar Syndrome in 6 years, it's in the 6th year, have made their halfway to Black Friday and Black Friday sales, event sales, their YouTube phenomenon sales on here as well, their collector sales. They're doing extremely well. They're doing so well with their edition of with their monthly releases, that you got people now like other companies like Severin kind of like following that trope, right? And just doing more and just doing like the monthly sales well. Well, Adam, there's the thing. Vinegar Syndrome did have a more limited release of genres. They did have a more limited genre thing. But just look at the last month that they put out. Look at the stuff they put out in the last month. What some people call their more artsy type of films. Vinegar Syndrome is growing, and they're expanding. This is a company that started doing like Hersher and Louis Salas films as as a Kickstarter campaign film, because what they really are, they're a film preservation company. That's how they started. And you got to see, they got to do like the Peakorama and stuff, and you got like some lower budget horror and some really kind of like Z grade stuff, and then all of a sudden you start to see other stuff come in. You see some like more serious films, and you see some better horror and some like lesser seen stuff, but still just really good stuff. And now we're starting to see like a lot of more like artsier films, and some more daring films, like even stuff like Buddies, which is not my style of film, but it's a damn strong film. So we're starting to see Vinegar Syndrome grow and evolve, and it'll be interesting to see exactly what and where Vinegar Syndrome is in the next in the next 2 years. I don't know. I mean, like, if you really want to say it, I mean, like, Criterion, let's take Criterion, okay? Criterion is a company that says, the most important movies, only putting out the most important movies. But at the end of the day, that was Criterion's gimmick. That was Criterion's thing. Were they always really putting out the most important movies? No. I mean, like, Armageddon is not one of the most important movies. The Rock is not one of the most important movies. Some movies aren't. But it's a great marketing tool, and it worked, and they did. And what happened is basically with Criterion is like, why go for these films? Why go for these artsy films? Why go for these these foreign releases over like what they originally went for, like the RoboCops and the stuff like that? and the truth, what I think the truth of the matter is, to be completely honest with you. And it's become a great thing because you have started doing some more like important, like what I consider like some great releases. Is they didn't have the money originally to like those films, like getting those Bergmans. Nobody wanted those films. I'm sure they, but they would take these films like pretty much and get them fairly for a good price, but then they would put like the money and the work into them. Criterion became what they are not just because of the films that they did, but the quality of the releases that they did. They like brought special features for it. No, you can never take that away from Criterion. They did like the commentaries. They did great remasters of films. Not always fantastic. Like at Unibaba's like early release Criterion, not a good release. I know I got it, but there are later on when they could do a better release, they did it. So everyone's got their their gimmick when they start out. But right now, when Criterion says, releasing the most important films, that's no longer just catchphrase. They they've they've lived up. They've lived up to it. They've more than lived up. They've exceeded. It. They've exceeded it, like 100 times over. Criterion has its name for the best possible reason because they earned it. They've earned the respect and the name that they got today. I do think, Adam, if you keep an eye on Vinegar Syndrome, and I know they started out with some more cult type stuff, but they're starting to expand, and you're starting to see a lot more stuff from them. The acquisition guys that they got are extraordinary. So just keep an eye out. I think you're going to see them expand more from the cult stuff. But we'll see anyway. Even if they stick with the cult stuff, I do like the cult stuff too. So I think the good thing about collecting right now, man, is there is a place for everybody to go. If you're a fan of like low budget, Z grade Italian stuff, there's a place for you. If you like UK steelbooks, you like steelbooks, there is a place in the movie collecting community, bam, where you're going to get that stuff. If you said, man, I'm a really big fan of Juan Picar Simone, yeah, his stuff is out there on like multiple labels as well. I think Aero is done the greatest out of all the companies when it comes to like just expanding. If you've seen what Aero started at, and I know you have, man, and to where they are right now, like how they've expanded, and like just the breadth and width of like and the depth of the films that they do. Ghost Dog Way of the Samurai on Criterion. I think it'll happen. That's one I can see that one happening. Did they release yet, guys? Because I'm not up to date. I don't think they have, but did they release what the 1,000th Criterion is going to be yet? Has that announcement come out? Because if it has, I missed it. I know some people are saying like Citizen Kane, but for me, I want that. I want it to be in a Akira Kurosawa box set. I have actually. I've requested releases. I don't know about you, but I would like to see them do, like, get into some of the Italian, like not Fellini, but maybe some of the more like genre-related Italian stuff. I do think that they could do well with like, can you imagine a Criterion like release of like a really good like giallo type of release? I would love to see that from Criterion. I would love to see what they would do with something like that. The one thing I got to say though, that some of the Criterion commentaries are kind of dry. You guys know what I'm talking about. They don't always get the best people. They get like some very like, they're good, but they're very like, some of them are pretty academic to like a bit drier than you. I'm not gonna lie. I got the Criterion channel, which I utterly adore. But there's been a couple of times, they get a lot of film scholars. Yeah, some of them, Adam, I'll be honest with you, don't catch my attention. If they don't get my attention like right away, I'll put them on late at night if I'm going to sleep. I'll put on the Criterion channel, but play commentary. And if I know it's going to be a particularly dry one, for instance, then I'll be like, okay, this will work. The Uwe Boll Criterion Collection set. Wouldn't it, man, if Criterion ever put out an Uwe Boll film, we would never, never hear the end of it. He would not let us hear the end of that. That would be something we'd be listening to for the rest of our lives. And I'm not even like, I'm not a hater for Uwe Boll, by the way. Guy does, he does his thing, or he did his thing, right? He did like his type of stuff, whether you like it or hate it. He did, you know, he did he had his own style. And I swear to God, people that look at me and say, you know, well, I watch Uwe Boll films, they're the worst ever. I mean, you didn't watch very many films. I'm sorry. I got things over there from Intervision. So come back to me after you've seen things and talk about like the worst films ever. Then we'll have a discussion. Because you're Ed Woods and stuff like that. I'm sorry, no, there's way worse films out there. Did you hear about Ghostbusters? Oh, I don't know about the new film. Paul Rudd's going to be in it. It's going to be kind of like if I got it correct, it's going to be more like kind of like a Stranger Things, and like in that it's like young Ghostbusters, like it's like kids that are going to be in the film, which is kind of cool. I kind of like that aspect of it. It'd be interesting to see. There'll be people that want it to do well just because he hated the 2016 one, which I think is utterly ridiculous, man. Here's the thing. I like Ghostbusters. I mean, I like the first one. Second one was okay. Wasn't the best. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't like the second one very much. It grew on me over years, but I still don't think it was a great film. So there can be Ghostbuster movies with the actual Ghostbusters in them that actually aren't that great. Some people like the second one better, to be honest with you. But then the 2016 one came out, and it had females in it. Oh my God! Run to the hills, and some people got upset. Yeah, see, that's the thing. That's your favorite sequel ever, right? Me, I wasn't a fan of it. To each his own when it comes to that type of stuff. There's a lot of people that love Ghostbusters 2 over Ghostbusters. The 2016 sequel was a good remake. Film was good. I don't think it was that great. But the cast was good. The cast was actually pretty good. I think the worst person in the cast was actually Chris Hemsworth. But the rest of the cast were good. They just didn't have a lot to work with. Could have had a better script, and I think it could have gotten better if they would have done another film. However, it got a lot of hate online, blah, blah, blah. People got got all upset. Oh no. And now they're doing another one. Oh, it's actually there, Sasha. And people are like, oh, what is kids? Oh, it definitely has its problems. That's what I'm saying. A lot of problems. And it's in the scripting. The scripting was bad in that. So now there's like another Ghostbusters coming out, and it's kids. And first they're saying, oh, this is Ghostbusters, and it's going to be kind of like from I think the son of the guy one of the guys, the Ghostbusters, that type of thing. And it said, okay, and we're going to get a real Ghostbusters now, not like the other one. And so then it came out like that, there's going to be kids in it. And then people are like, well, I'm not so sure about this now, man, because I don't know one of the Stranger Things are Ghostbusters. Well, here's the thing. At the end of the day, and this goes for any remake out there, or any remake that people are concerned about. Okay. This is Chud. This is the original Chud. This is Chud right here. Tomorrow, somebody could come out and decide, you know what? I'm going to remake Chud. I want to do my own take on Chud. It could be really, really good, like The Thing or The Fly, right? Make its own classic. Make its own type of thing, right? But it could also be crap. It could be like Black Xmas, pretty shitty, but you can watch it anyway. But you know what? Do you know what this does? This still exists. Doesn't take away that this movie is here. This movie still exists. It's still here. Remake, reboot, reimagining doesn't change that. Still love this movie. If there's a remake or reboot of it, you know what? At the end of the day, yeah, I can watch it or I cannot watch it. That being said, when people say that, um, oh, dude, come on, man. It's a classic. You know that's my favorite film, right? You know it's my favorite film, 1974 edition of Black Christmas. That's the movie that made me a cinema lover. Um, but to each his own again, right? Like, we're talking opinions here. Um, but at the end of the day, it's not going to change anything. There's a lot of original films being made, man. Yeah. So that's the thing. The only thing you gotta stop for a second and say, oh, man, I love Halloween. Which Halloween? 78. Or like, the one with Nick Castle. 78 or 2018. Okay. Man, there's a lot of original films being made out there too. There's stuff like, Midsummer came out. There's lots of like little films that are being made as well. Just small films. They could be made by smaller companies. There's a lot of original films and a lot of original cinema coming out there. I wasn't a fan of the Stepfather remake, to be completely honest with you. I thought I actually expected more from it. I remember the girl they had in it, and I swear to God, they chose her and they said, you know what? Let's get that actress and put her in a bikini in almost every scene she's in. That was that was baffling to me. But they chose the guy from Nip Tuck to that's what I know him from anyway. To do in the remake of Stepfather, and I thought, yo, there's a good choice. I mean, like he's a good actor, but no, it didn't do anything for me, man. Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. There's a ton of independent films being made today. Yeah, more so than probably any other time. It's just that, if somebody says they're remaking Halloween, obviously that's going to get more press. Oh, you never saw the remake? It's it's okay. I mean, like think of the Stepfather remake as like a Lifetime. Lifetime films, kind of like that. Kind of tamer, not a lot of scariness to it, type of thing. To be honest with you, I got it here somewhere. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I don't remember it standing out at all. And it's hard, really hard, to beat the original dude. But yeah, people always go on about like remakes and reboots and all that stuff. But yes, remakes and reboots get press because they're famous films that are being remade. But there's so many other films being remade that are being remade, being done as well around the same time. For every like remake of Halloween or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, there's a movie like Charm, or Almost Human, or 30 Days a Night, or something like that. Out there, or the just really cool films, and remakes sometimes can be good and fun too when there's being reimagined in a different way. I don't know if anybody know if the Pet Cemetery was any good. I never seen that one. I don't think there's any film that shouldn't be remade. I understand what you mean, Cool Blue, but I think any film can be remade, whether it's going to be well done or not. I do think that you can't close the option to it there. Like people say, like certain films like Clockwork Orange, never remake Clockwork Orange, or never remake anything Kubrick, and I'm like, well, you're probably not going to beat it, but if you want to go for it, man. I don't actually. One of my dreams, Warlock, honestly, is have an IMDb credit. I've written stuff, but and of course I got my channel here, but I don't guess yet I qualify. I'm not big enough yet to qualify for an IMDb credit, unfortunately. I probably have to pay for one to get one, actually. There's a good example. Remake of the Blob. I agree with you, Gingerbread Man. Ghostbusters Man. That Gingerbread Man. There you go. Remade you. But I do too like the remake of the Blob. The 80s, 88, right? I think version, or 88 or 86. Can't remember which now. Better than the original Blob. I do like the original Blob. I think it's a fantastic film, but I think the remake does it just a step better. And sometimes you get sequels, of films that are better than the original film. Friday the 13th is a great example. good film, yes. Friday 13th Part 2, way better, in my not so humble opinion. Remake of The Fly, again, holds up. That one's really holds up to the test of time. Fantastic film. The Thing, another film. And like sequels come out, like, like Rambo, for instance, right? Rambo 4. Rambo came out, I loved Rambo. Rambo 2 came out, I thought it was a fun action film. Rambo 3 came out, I was really tired of it. And then the new Rambo 4, Rambo, which, just titled Rambo again, came out. And that was like one of the greatest slasher films ever. But yeah, sorry about the slight rant there, guys, but I thought it was something interesting to talk about anyway, something different on a Friday. This is kind of like a free-for-all Friday for this type of video, so I thought, why don't we just go in and talk about a lot of different stuff. And we've dealt with, we've gone from the one-on-one film sale to like all the new announcements coming out. I didn't like part 3 as much. Like, to be honest, dude, I only saw it once, so I'd have to rewatch it again, man. So, like, to be completely honest, for me to say right now, well, part 3 of Rambo's not so good. That's the one in Afghanistan, I think, if I remember correctly. With Peter Weller? Is he playing RoboCop? I was mad on the last RoboCop film. I thought it was okay. Like, it had some nice, like, parts to it, but it definitely wasn't the iconic RoboCop. But again, like I said before, my iconic RoboCop still exists. The new RoboCop didn't change that. I'm missing some of your comments here, so I'm trying to open it up, guys, just to see. Watch it in 4K. Is there a 4K release? I definitely want to get the Rambos in 4K. What do we got here? Where's my YouTube at? It's so hard for me to see with these new glasses on. Like, I can see far away way better than I could before with my old glasses. But seeing, like, there we go. Okay, see, really? Oh, Severin package Warlock. Yeah, I talked about that. I want it. I mean, August though. I mean, I promised my better half wouldn't be grabbing anything till September, but I do want it. I mean, that wax mask. Oh man, so many good features on it. Hey Ken, how's it going, man? Stallone keeps wanting to kill off these characters, man. They won't let him. They won't let him. They wouldn't let him kill off Rocky. When they want to kill him off, they wouldn't let him kill off Rambo. Yeah, because Rambo was supposed to like commit suicide in the first one. Oh, Beast and the Magic Sword, Ken, classic. And how anybody that loves Nashi, this has been on their wish list for years. Buying into the credit. That's an idea. There's an idea for me. My goal one of these days is to get enough viewers or enough notice that this here movie club, this gets an IMDb listing sometime. Movie club hosted by Aaron. I think Cobra wouldn't have been made at the time because I think he broke up with what's her name, Brigitte Nielsen. But I like Cobra. I really do. I thought it was a really fun film. Oh, I hate that. Shipping's going up. Shipping's a killer thing here in Canada. I had some people actually message me once and say, like, I want, I want to send you some stuff, but the shipping is killer. Like, because they were in the United States and I'm in Canada. So, like what I normally do now is if somebody says that, I want to send you something, but I'm worried about shipping. I said, well, if I can do it, tell me around the time, I'll help the shipping type of thing, which has been, it's been helpful. It's been nice. It always goes up first, man. Paul Kersey. Well, you know, nobody wants to be a girl around Paul Kersey, man. You just don't. You want to be his girlfriend or his maid or his daughter. No, you just like women look at Paul Kersey and they're like, you know, not worth it, man. Not worth it. Not worth what's going to happen to me in the end. Because yeah, it's like, oh, hi, this is my new girlfriend. Death Wish 2, yeah, Death Wish 2, right? The maid, his daughter. What the heck, man? It just was not good to be like cursed. Yeah, it's cursed. He was definitely cursed. But yeah, I did love those Death Wish movies, even like especially the first couple. That's a great idea, Warlock. Actually, but you know what? Here's the issue with me when it comes to stuff like that. I don't have that many friends here. I don't, and the people that I know are into much different things than me. I got like some friends that are considering like YouTube channels, like on other much like different things. There's a girl that I knew from work, for instance, from my last job, and she's thinking about doing like a YouTube channel, like basically, but like more like for like 80s collecting stuff, like memorabilia, like fashion stuff like that. I am too far away. It's that thing. It sucks. Like, because I'm in here. I am in the middle of nowhere. Well, not in the middle of nowhere. I'm in Nova Scotia. I can drive anywhere. When I was in Newfoundland, for instance, I had to get on a plane or a ferry just to go somewhere. But here, it's a little bit harder. Now, if I go back to college, for instance, might be a little bit easier there. When I go to Morocco, for instance, I like my better half as a whole friend set already put in. So I got to get into a whole new friend group, and I want to be there. I do plan like to host some like movie nights and having some like kind of like kind of some movie parties, some movie watching parties and stuff like that. And I'll be doing some. I'm going to be doing some film classes there as well. So that'll be interesting. Kind of teach some film stuff. So all the fun stuff. That's all the fun stuff coming up, which is what I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to to study cinema and to teach cinema, and that's been a goal of mine for a long time. So yeah, fingers crossed, right? There we go. And with that, with our conversation running the gambit of everything over the last 93 minutes, I want to thank everybody for coming in today. Enjoy your Friday. Watch a good movie. Relax. You've had a long week. You can sit back and enjoy it now. Look at all the sales that are coming. Check with the Eureka sale. Tell you what, if that sale is ongoing as of tomorrow, for instance, there will be actually. But the way I'm doing it in there is I'm gonna be like taking I'll be flying into like London, and I might get like a post office box over in London, so I can get the releases. And for like the big Aero announcements and stuff like that, I'm just gonna fly over because it's only like maybe 3 or 4 hour flight, something like that, from Morocco to London. So that's nothing, and just go over and I won't be going over just to get one movie. Obviously, I'll go over like to coincide it with like special times and get like different stuff, and we'll go over a few times a year type thing, because we got like a place, we got like our family and friends in London that we can stay with. So we go there, look around, do some shopping, spend a week or so there, kind of come back, or sort of spend some time with your sister in Paris as well, type of thing. So get some shopping done through there. And like releases that are North American wise, we'll probably either have my kids like actually look into getting some of those for me and kind of like stockpile it, and then when I go to see them, I can actually get those releases. Or so yeah. Needless to say, I've been thinking about it, something I'm planning. I am Aaron. Thank you so much for coming in today, guys. You guys have been fantastic today. I got to say, you've made this Friday utterly, absolutely wonderful. And this video came off way better than I thought it was going to. And I hope you guys think so too. And it's not just in my head. I'm Aaron. You are the Movie Club. Enjoy your Friday. You guys deserve it. Have a great Great empty suit. That's exactly what I do, Warlock. I always take one empty suitcase with me. I know you were joking, but it's true. I've always done that. Have a great Friday. And tomorrow, let's talk Eureka. We'll talk about the Eureka sale. I'll get my Eureka stuff out, and you're Batman. And we'll look at the Eureka stuff, and I'll bring my computer down. We'll look at the sale. We'll deep dive. Have a great one.